All right, everyone, and welcome to Healthcare Marketing Executive. This is really our goal with this podcast is to be the one source for insight, innovation, and impact in healthcare marketing. I'm Saul Marquez.
And I'm Alexis Anderson, and I just think we couldn't be more excited to have you all here for this debut episode.
Yeah, likewise. What our goal is we really want to bring you intimate conversations with the most influential marketing executives who are transforming the business of healthcare.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one's going to be all about digging into how the best minds in healthcare marketing, how they're driving meaningful change, how they're, navigating and maybe even setting some of the new standards and creating campaigns that truly matter.
Yeah. And so, as your debut episode, we want to kind of just give you guys context on what you'll expect. So, each episode is going to reveal the thinking behind breakthrough campaigns, leadership philosophies that are shaping the future of healthcare, and things that you could use as an executive.
Yeah, I agree. And so I'd say as you're listening into this, if you're curious about how the top minds in healthcare marketing, how they operate, if you yourself, if you're looking for actionable insights, from people who are writing the playbook as it relates to healthcare marketing, you've come to the right place. This is where you want to be.
Totally. And so, Alexis, I think it's worth jumping into the origin story. So, why don't we just kick off by sharing that with folks? What inspired us to start the podcast?
Yeah, sure thing. It's an interesting question because I think most of this, what originated from the shared experience that we have working in healthcare marketing, working for healthcare marketers. And I think like myself, yourself, we talked about how we were noticing this gap around knowledge, around collaboration for healthcare marketing professionals in particular. They're almost sort of like the unsung heroes of the industry, right? So it's like you've got your health tech developers who are developing these new products and solutions. You got the sales team who needs to deploy it and get it in the hands of consumers. But none of that really works unless the marketers are in the middle, creating the right campaigns to drive the right awareness. Without the marketers, none of that can occur. So I think creating this shared space, particularly for them, again, the unsung heroes, is what we want to do.
Yeah. And so, this need for a platform, and we are sitting in your seat. We're on the marketing side, helping organizations move the needle on campaigns, on their business goals. And we know like we're missing it too. So we tried finding it. And there's a couple things out there, actually. I'm a huge fan of Sway Healthcare, what John Lynn and his crew are doing for the marketing community. So I want to give him a shout out for what he has done with his platform. But what we wanted to do is complement that in a digital form to really help leaders connect, share insights, help each other grow, and put a spotlight on them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all about creating this space where we can inspire, unite each other, and just have this sort of special space.
Yeah, so let's just get into what folks can expect, Alexis, from each episode. Let's give
Yeah,
them a little sneak peek.
for sure. Let's do that. So each episode, I think, is going to feature about 20 minutes worth of interviews. The goal is to speak to some of the most influential healthcare marketing leaders who are making that direct impact. Would you add anything to that?
Yeah, and in addition to that, we know that you guys are all busy as ever. Our organizations are expecting way more from marketing, and AI is there, so do more for less. And so we're going to keep it very short and sweet. Like Alexis said, you'll hear actionable insights. We'll recap articles that are super insightful and useful, and ultimately help you understand the latest trends, like everything that's changing so fast, like AI, SEO, where the best place to advertise, how are marketers using AI. I'm going to actually do a sneak peek here because at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about an insights survey that we did. So stay tuned to listen to that. But ultimately, it's about making it useful for you.
Yeah, amazing. I can't wait to hear. That survey has been really, really exciting. So I can't wait to share some of the details there at the end of this one. This one's all about sharing success stories, sharing things that will help to inspire. So can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, for sure. So look, the community piece is key. So our ask is we're going to be recording these episodes. Right now on the inaugural episode, it's Alexis and I. She and I are co-hosting this, but both of us won't be hosting people together. So you'll either hear from Alexis or you'll hear from me on the episode with these leaders. But ultimately, the people we want to hear from is you. So the big thing here is creating community, and we want to invite you all to connect with us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to extend that as well. So whether it's on social media, whether it's email, just tell us what topics you want to hear about, and we'll make sure that we get some insights on those so that we can share them back with you. There's so much going on in the marketing space right now. We have like no shortage of things we want to cover with you.
Yeah, and there's a ton of leaders that we actually have already teed up for the first few episodes, so you're not going to want to miss them. So, really excited that you guys are here. It's about the community that we're creating, and it's about you. And by the way, if you're a marketing professional in healthcare doing amazing things, we want to hear from you. That's what the communication is all about.
Totally. Let's actually pivot maybe to diving into some of those insights and that survey that you talked about from Outcomes Rocket, which is really exciting. So tell us a little bit, more about it.
I'll get it started, Alexis. So we've been working on this for a little over a month. And so the survey included 1,229 marketers across various roles and organization sizes. And the findings were really relevant to healthcare marketing professionals. So let's just start sharing some of the takeaways.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things that I had seen in the survey was that one that said almost 90% of marketers already are integrating AI into their processes. I think it makes sense to me because I think marketers are quite nimble, we're quite agile, we're quite like tech oriented. But seeing that number almost 90% was kind of crazy to see. What were your reactions to that?
Yeah, the number is high. And if you read through the survey deeper on that number, I was actually surprised to find how little formal training these folks have gotten from their organizations. A lot of this is sort of figure it out in the wild. So we're wanting to encourage all of you guys to, number one, take a look at the survey and we'll share more here, but think about how we can provide you with the guidance to leverage some of these marketing tools for the areas of concern. The biggest one was content creation. I'm sure a lot of you guys and gals are using it for content creation. The second one was data analysis. Are you using it for data analysis? If not, there's ways to do that, and a lot of people are.
Yeah, agree. Actually, I'm sort of looking at the survey piece right now. And you just mentioned content creation. Crazy to see that 93, almost 94% of marketers are using something like a ChatGPT, for content. Wow, it's taken over.
Yeah. And so we took a look at the different types of AI engines, the LLMs, so ChatGPT, Claude, and others. And we have a ranking of who's using what.
Mm.
So I think you guys will definitely want to take a look at that.
And I think you had this really interesting perspective on the oversight piece as well. Yeah. Talk to me more about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Look, the big thing is, how are you leveraging a process that will help you keep data private, keep IP private, right? And still leverage these tools in a way that helps you move fast and meet the demands of the current market.
Absolutely. Yeah. We know AI is there. It's great that it's being used to drive efficiency. But yeah, there is this question on what sorts of processes people have in place to ensure the outputs are accurate, that they're relevant, that they're properly attributed, and they have the right oversight. Like, I think this is something I've heard some of my marketing friends talk about as something they're kind of grappling with.
Yeah. And Alexis, I think it's great that you bring that up because a lot of people, when they think governance, they think super complicated attorneys. Like the reality is, you could literally start with a Word document and write down your ideas about what you feel your organization needs to be thinking about, how it should be used, and then create a category for what data needs to be protected. Are you working with patient data or are you working with clients, right? Because a lot of you guys and gals have clients. So the information that you're managing for your clients, which of that is protected, which is not, having conversations, all this stuff could be outlined in your organization, and it should, so that you're in a good spot as we get further deeper into this because it's not changing. And the one thing that I want to bring up, so out of all the participants, there's a huge diversity. We had 28.4% entry level marketers, 48% mid level professionals, 17% senior professionals, and 4.4 C-level executives. So this stuff's being used across the organization, irregardless of where you sit in your professional career.
Yeah, I love to see that. Like people who are talking about AI, they're talking about how they're using it, the processes. Really interesting to see. Like you've got about a quarter who are the entry level, but almost a quarter who are that more senior levels. Like that balance is really, we're all kind of grappling with the same topics, which is interesting. Another sort of just to kind of like emphasize the spread as well, I think really interesting when I looked at the organization sizes. So there was about 43% from small businesses. We got responses from 30% medium size, 26% large, which again, like I'm almost seeing like that perfect pie chart in my head with a third, a third, a third. Really cool when I geek out on that when I'm doing that in my survey analysis.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. And it's fun to geek out on these things. I think this is the place to geek out on these sort of things. And as marketers tuning into the podcast, I bet you're probably nodding your head and you're like, yep, that's me too. So all of these insights really are, we're sharing them with you to empower you as a marketing professional to adapt and thrive in a landscape that's changing really quickly. So make sure in the show notes, we'll leave a link to the full publication as well as all of the outputs of the survey. It is really one that you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that anymore. Amazing. All right, what's next for us, Saul?
This was day one, Alexis. So I'm really glad. And I know, look, you and I are both busy. Everybody's busy. I'm glad that we carved out the time to kick this thing off finally. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And so what we want to do is hear from the listeners. So we want to hear from you, especially if you're a healthcare marketing leader making a difference. We're open to hearing from you if you want to be on the podcast. So make sure you check out our show notes where you could get in touch with us. It's healthcaremarketingexecutive.com. And there's a form there where you could contact us. So that's where you can go. And so we look forward to hearing from you and having you tune into our episodes and getting feedback from you. Alexis?
Amazing. Yeah, we definitely want to feature you if you have something unique to share. You've got new data, new insights, a new take on things. You've run an interesting campaign. You got in contact with a hard to reach market. You're leveraging synthetic data. You feel like you're leading the front on omni-channel engagement. All of it is all things we all have to tackle as an industry. So definitely get in touch. And we just want to say, thank you for tuning into this first episode. We're really excited about this journey. And yeah, can't wait to be more live very soon.
Yeah, likewise. And remember, folks, our commitments to foster insightful discussions, elevate the standards of healthcare marketing, and create a community for all of us. So just keep that in mind as you tune in and listen to more episodes.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and we will see you in a week or two.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Alexis.